Hello, and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today we're going to be in the New Testament. We're going to be in the New Testament. I'm going to read from the book of Mark, and chapter 2, and we're going to try to push through 12 verses. It's going to be verses 1 through 12, starting with the English Standard Version. And when he returned to Capernaum after some days, it was reported that he was at home. And many were gathered together so that there was no more room, not even at the door. And he was preaching the word to them. And they came bringing to him a paralytic carried by 4 men. And when they could not get near him because of the crowd, they removed the roof above him. And when they had made an opening, they let down the bed on which the paralytic lay. And when Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Now, some of the scribes were sitting there, questioning in their hearts, "Why does this man speak like that? He is blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone?" And immediately Jesus, perceiving in his spirit that they thus questioned within themselves, he said to them, "Why do you question these things in your hearts? Which is easier to say to the paralytic, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Rise, take up your bed and walk'? But that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins," he said to the paralytic, "I say to you, rise, pick up your bed and go home." And he rose and immediately picked up his bed and went out and before them all, so that they were all amazed and glorified God, saying, "We never saw anything like this." All right. Now, the New Century Version. A few days later, when Jesus came back to Capernaum, the news spread that he was at home. Many people gathered together so that there was no room in the house, not even outside the door, and Jesus was teaching them God's message. 4 people came carrying a paralyzed man. Since they could not get to Jesus because of the crowd, they dug a hole at the roof right above where he was speaking. When they got through, they lowered the mat with the paralyzed man in it. And when Jesus saw the faith of these people, he said to the paralyzed man, "Young man, your sins are forgiven." Some of the teachers of the law were sitting there, thinking to themselves, "Why does this man say things like that? He is speaking as if he were God. Only God can forgive sins." Jesus knew immediately what the teachers of the law were thinking. So he said to them, "Why are you thinking these things? Which is easier to tell this paralyzed man, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to tell him, 'Stand up, take your mat and walk'? But I will prove to you that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." So Jesus said to the paralyzed man, "I tell you, stand up, take your mat, and go home." Immediately the paralyzed man stood up, took his mat, and walked while everyone was watching him. The people were amazed and praised God, and they said, "We have never seen anything like this." Okay. So, the faith of friends. This man had 4 friends carrying him to see Jesus so that he could be healed. It is important to have faithful friends around you, faithful friends that can help carry you through tough situations, so that when the time comes and you're able to get through these situations, hopefully you return the favor to one of those friends down the road. Now, Jesus knew what they were thinking. I kind of enjoy reading passages like this because it shows just how much power Jesus had. He knew exactly what they were thinking, so he stopped them right in their tracks before they could say anything. Showing them and telling them, so not only practicing what he preaches, but preaching what he practices, whatever, however you want to word it, he walked the talk and talked the walk. And he showed these Pharisees and Sadducees and whoever else was in this room that he could do that. Make sure you always have a faithful group of friends around you that can carry you through. Make sure you are a faithful friend that can help carry another friend through tough situations. I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.